Welcome to the 2/3 podcast. I'm Grant, one of the co-hosts, because it's 2/3. I'm one. Two is
Roman Reigns. When it rains, it pours. Roman Empire, WWE champion in life and in the ring.
Cam.
That's me. And our third?
Adam.
Excellent.
Yes.
So this is actually interesting because we've only met this evening.
Yes.
We met literally
half hour ago.
Yeah.
half an hour ago.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to start off with a heavy hitting questions here.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a question. In 10 words or less, could you describe Justin Bieber?
I just need one. Revolutionary. You know?
Yes!
And what
you're
makes
the first person to say that on here, which makes me so happy because I've never agreed with anyone.
And what makes him revolutionary to you?
Well, I mean, okay, to me he's doing the whole Justin Timberlake thing, right? Everybody hated him at the start. I mean, for good reason. He was a boy band. But his newest album, unreal.
It's so good.
Unreal.
I haven't heard it, so I'm out of the loop here.
There's so much dance hall in it, and I'm all over the dance hall.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So if he came to, near you and you had the opportunity to go, would you go?
Probably not. I still don't want to be seen at a concert like that.
Yeah.
Right? I'll listen to his album. I'll tell people about it.
Yeah.
But just, there'll be pictures, and there'll be, 12-year-old girls, and of course, it'll be, me standing out, or I'll be a giant to them, and, it'll be everywhere. I don't want to do that. But,
Okay. What was the last concert that you went to?
The Who.
Oh, wow.
Shit.
And how was that?
It was awesome. Great concert. I was
Yeah?
a little hungover, though, so it could have been probably better, but, it was a great concert.
And who ended up opening for them?
Who was it?
Was it anyone, insane or just,
Yes, who was it?
It was
I'm not
supposed to
trying to make that
There
joke,
you
but
go.
Yeah, get in on it. There you
It
go.
never happens, guys.
No, yeah.
Let me have
Gotta
this one.
get those. Perfect.
It was supposed to be Joan Jett, but then they canceled
Okay.
because Daltrey had, I think, some with his throat. And then when they came back, I'm blanking on who it was, actually, and I feel bad for that.
No,
But, it was supposed to be Joan Jett, so that'd be good. I'm not a huge fan of Joan Jett, but it'd be awesome to see
Cool
her.
to see. It's a big name.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone to put on the list.
Would that be the biggest name that you've ever seen live? Whether that's even stand-up comedy or just
Anything
art
live?
show in general or music?
I've been to quite a bit of concerts. I don't know, whenever a big act comes to us, usually I go. So we usually get Rolling Stones, stuff like that.
Whoa.
Queen. It was pretty, even though Adam, I forget his name now.
Adam Levine?
No,
No,
I know what
what
you're talking about.
Yeah.
I forget his name though. He was actually really good. I thought it was going to be subpar, but no, he killed it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So I tried to catch a show.
You've seen the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, when they were in Regina, they played 2 concerts back to back.
And did you go to both or just
one?
Oh, that's wicked.
Tickets were so expensive, right?
Well, yeah, of course. And they're a band that, no one will question. It's say if Bieber came to town, hypothetically, and it's I want minimum $100 a ticket. Some people were like, what? That's Bieber. Rolling Stones, it's $150 starting. And people are like, well, yeah, I mean, they're probably never coming back. So you have to do this.
The chances of one of them just dropping dead.
Yeah.
Hope it doesn't
It wouldn't
happen.
surprise
But
me.
at the same time,
Well, it's tragic, but
no, not gonna be surprised.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of stadiums and concerts, what's your favorite thing on the menu if you when you go to sporting events or concerts whatsoever? If you're getting food hot dog, hamburger, corn dog, deep fried cheese curds.
Honestly, you just gotta look at the menu, and the thing that has a special name at a stadium, you gotta order that, no matter how terrible it's gonna be, right? Because usually it's a burger with peanut butter, poutine on it, just something crazy. You gotta try it though. That's usually my go-to. Their signature. I mean, you gotta always go with that.
Well, yeah, because they're gonna take pride in it. Because they want you to have it, and it has its own name.
Yeah.
I've never even thought about that before. I've passed up on so many opportunities just because I didn't think about that. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. There's always some special name all the time, and just greasier than hell, so you know it's good.
Oh yeah.
Deep fried minimum 3 times.
Okay, so when you go for wings, then speaking of deep fried stuff, dried flavor, what would you get?
Dry flavor.
Yep.
Lemon pepper.
Okay, and wet flavor.
Honey dill. I'm on that. Yeah.
Wait, honey dill wings?
Yeah.
They have those?
Yeah. Surprisingly
never heard
good.
of that.
I know. Only a few places. We gotta try it.
Oh.
Or Buffalo Ranch, because some places don't have it, but Buffalo Ranch is always. Or Buffalo.
Oh yeah, buffalo and dipping in
Yeah,
ranch. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's classic. That's so awesome.
Because every place has that.
What are your thoughts on buffalo ranch chips? Have you had those?
No, I haven't.
No. Do you eat chips?
Not too much. If I'm at some place and they have chips, I'll eat them, right? But yeah, I don't really buy them. So I'll just eat the whole bag and feel shit out.
Oh, I got a bag waiting upstairs for me.
Then I'm gonna eat them all.
Yeah, no. Like every time I'm like, no, just this one last time. And after I'm like, why did I do that? I feel like crap. And then like a month later, I'm like, I'm back, honey. Let's do it again. Yeah, it's bad.
Goodness.
Yeah, all right, Grant. Hit him with a real heavy question.
Well, we're told you're the NASCAR guy.
I guess so. That's what I'm known for now.
Now, Cam and I have a pool for Sprint Cup. Who's gonna win every year? Who do you think? Like, who would be your top picks
for this season?
Like for drafting for
in
NASCAR.
NASCAR?
You could do a top
Who do you
5.
think's gonna make? Like,
It's just your opinion too, but we've been told you're the expert in this situation.
Yeah.
like, 'cause the draft is coming up very soon for us.
Nice. I honestly, I'm always been a fan of like racers like Kyle Busch, Harvick, guys who've been there, that kind of stuff. Like you're never really.
Cam's just glowing from Harvick winning 2 years ago.
Oh
Yeah.
because
like
he won.
oh really?
Yeah, I had my top 2, or like the way it is each. How did it do? Like the top.
There's 16 racers. There's 8 of us,
and so we each get
and
2.
we each get 2 guys, and whoever wins. That's it. And
And my top 2, I had 2 guys
Both
in the
of his-
final 4. I had Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick.
yeah,
Nice.
And so I had Hammy and Harvey. That's what I was calling them all season. I'm like, Hammy and Harvey, take me to the promised land, guys. And then I couldn't make it to the actual final race. I had something, but like Grant sent me the video of like, I guess it was a crash like right before the end. And then like the only guy standing was Kevin Harvick. And they're like, they started the flag and he had like half a track and all he had to do was like pull up a driveway and win. And he won. And everyone's like, screw you, man. It's garbage. It sucks. Oh my God, I won all this money, $80. This is amazing. I'd like to thank my mom, my dad. And we've also been told that you've been to NASCAR Live?
Yes.
And which one did you go to?
Indianapolis.
So the Indianapolis 500.
Yeah, it's honestly probably the worst NASCAR track to go watch. Like as far as
wow.
NASCAR,
really,
yeah.
I'm told it's the biggest stadium in the world.
Yeah, well, it's good for IndyCar, right? Because it's
Oh,
actual
okay.
track. But with NASCAR, it's so big, and with the grandstands, you only have a small length to watch it.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, they'll go by, and it's like 30 seconds till you see them go by again.
Mm-hmm.
So smaller tracks are usually better, like Martinsville, like a half-mile track.
Right.
Where this one was so massive. It was still a blast. Don't get me wrong, but
What does the 500 represent? Because I'm not, like, is that amount of laps?
Miles.
I think it's kilometers for some reason. I think I've had this discussion, and sometimes it's not even kilometers. I don't think.
I thought it was miles.
Yeah,
Because each track is a different length in general, so they don't necessarily do 500 laps.
Yeah.
It depends on how long the track is, but they will cover 500 miles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause laps are usually a lot less because there's 2-mile tracks and stuff like that.
Talladega is 2.6 miles or something like that.
One lap.
Yeah.
So they do
Whoa.
like a Talladega 300 or something like that. That's like 100 laps. It's nothing.
And is it because they're like they're all different shapes, or they all just like the
Mostly
oval?
Well, there's like
the elongated.
tri-oval and they all have sort of. They're not all
perfect
exactly ovals. Yeah, there's usually some sort of bend in them. Yeah,
Make it special.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so do you want to go to like? Are you eventually going to try and go to all the big ones, or what are the big ones? The big tracks.
Charlotte's, because that's where like the home of NASCAR. You got the Hall of Fame there, so Charlotte's usually good. I like road tracks. I would go to road course personally.
And what would be a road course? Because I'm completely new.
Martin, or what am I? Glen. The Glen is one. What are some others?
And is it road just mean like they shut down the city, or?
No, it's an actual track. It's the only ones that really go on road are F1. Like they'll go to like Montreal is in there, stuff like that. But yeah, it's an actual course that just has left and right turns.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Because that's how many times have you had, like when you tell people you're a NASCAR fan, how many times have you had like, oh, I think I heard it earlier, like,
Yeah.
oh, you must love it when they turn right.
Yeah.
Like how many times you get that every time?
Oh, every time. Like, oh, it must be so hard to always turn left. It's like, oh yeah, I know, but yeah, no, road courses are pretty good.
At 200 miles an hour?
Yeah. Like, you get me behind that wheel, I would probably be crying within 2 seconds at that speed.
The moment they're like, all right, turn over, they go, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Tears.
I'm going
Mad
home.
tears. Yeah.
That was enough. I've had enough of this. Okay, so when you were first, like, was Indianapolis the first place you wanted to go just experience it, or was it just kind of location where you were at the time?
Yeah, it worked out because we went for a buddy's stag, and honestly, one of his main hobbies is drinking. So, okay, it opens up the door for a lot of things.
Yeah.
My buddy's a auto body detailer,
Okay.
so he likes cars and that kind of stuff. So we're like, man, let's go to a NASCAR race. And the way it worked out was Indy one of the closer courses to the summer, like during then. So we're like, yeah, let's drive down there. So we hit up Chicago, went to Wrigley Field for a game. It was awesome. Then went to Indianapolis. So we made a trip out of it, but it just so happened it worked out nicely. So that's why we went there.
Nice.
So it was good. Yeah, I would have liked to go, even though it's not the best course track there, but it was still entertaining. Yeah.
So if you get to go to another NASCAR event, which one's the next one you go? Like in your bucket list of like 2 to 4 to 5, which one would you want to go to?
I'd definitely go to Charlotte.
Charlotte's the next one, and what's the name of that course, or is it just Charlotte?
I just know it's Charlotte. But it probably has a name. I'm not too knowledgeable.
What got you into like NASCAR?
After the football season's like before it, then that's pretty much what got, because there's nothing to do on Sundays. So we're like, man, let's just start watching NASCAR, because it starts in February, right? When
Oh yeah, right. I do remember that. Yeah, that's right, and then it ends right near the end.
right when NFL ends. So we like started watching that, and got into like cricket, anything really, just to watch football.
Just to carry you over?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. And so was one of your favorite movies, I'm sure you get this all the time, is it Talladega Nights?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty
good. Does hold up? Are there any other, I think there's Days of Thunder?
Days of Thunder.
I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen it for years, but I've been meaning to. Yeah.
Okay, are there any like
Just
more
put
like
that on my list now.
Yeah, like is there like go-to like suggestion to anyone out there like movies you should watch to get you into NASCAR apart from Talladega? Although that's more of just kind of crazy. Like
that's like
Nights,
comedy,
it's Will Ferrell, so
yeah, of course.
He learns how to drive with a panther in the back seat, right? That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
But like Days of Thunder, is there any other like well-known racing?
Not that I can think of, honestly. Days of Thunder is probably number one, though.
Number one?
Yeah.
Who's in it? Isn't Tom Cruise in that?
Tom Cruise, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's good.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's pretty much Top Gun on the track, right?
All right. And you mentioned football. NFL, CFL.
Mostly NFL.
Okay, who's your NFL team?
The Packers.
Oh, the Packers.
Oh,
Yes.
get out of the room
See,
right now.
We were telling you earlier about like our regular location, the fleece blankets we use to cover everything up are Bears blankets because he's a huge Bears fan. And this is interesting. This is interesting because I'm a Vikings fan.
Oh,
we're all in the same division.
So this is going to be the
guys.
shortest podcast. Cut it now. It's over.
It's going to get eaten.
Have you ever been to Lambeau?
Not Lambeau.
Not Lambeau. Which ones have you been to?
Mall of America.
Oh,
Yeah.
when did you go? What year did you go there?
2-3 years ago, when AP was going for his the record, and he missed it that game.
You were at that game?
Yeah, I was at that game.
Who were they playing that day?
The Packers.
Oh, okay,
It was
so
week
that would
17.
make sense.
Yeah, I think that was the game. Yeah.
Yeah, because the play call, I guess, for the sport, you were there too. Like, I was watching it, and it was like, he fell 17 yards short, I think. 8 yards.
No, I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Maybe it was 8.
Yeah,
I was there against the one where I was there when he was. I think it was San Diego when he got that longest touchdown. Or
like the longest
return
run
or something like that.
Oh no! There was 2 records that broke that day.
Yeah.
It was San
that was a
Diego
long
Chargers
time
had the
ago.
longest kick return, and then AP had the most. Up to that time, he had the most running yards in a game, didn't he? He had like 200.
Yeah, something like that.
300 something.
In a game.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm out of my realm here. That game, were you being a Packers fan? Were you upset that they didn't? Were you upset that they didn't let AP try and get that record?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
Right.
like I know I wasn't watching with my like. There's plenty of Packers fans just in the region that we are. Like the NFC North, there's a ton of like Canadians who are huge fans just because it's easier to watch them because they're on TV all the time.
Yeah.
But my one friend who's like they're diehard Packers fan, he's just like he's like that record would stand way more. Like it means so much more if AP got it. Like they didn't do anything in the playoffs that year.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
They got bounced. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think in the first game.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I'm drawing blank, of course, now, but I would have rather than miss the playoffs and have AP have that record.
Yeah.
And like he could have done it. Like they had another full set of downs, and obviously the Packers aren't going to lay off on him, but I'm sure he
They would have. Yeah, it's like Strahan when Favre supposedly went down, so Strahan got his record.
Oh yeah, the sack record,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. See,
So, I mean,
that's.
there's.
But yeah, and it's like I know it's like your biggest rival, but it's like it's also like you could say you helped him do it.
And I'm sure they rivals, but they respect AP because I mean. He's a beast.
Well, that's like like even now, like when Mr. Aaron Rodgers comes to town, that bad man that he is. Oh God.
So dreamy, you can't hate that man.
No, he's like I should hate the Packers. Like I should hate the Packers. I should hate the Bears. I can't hate the Lions. They suck. They're so bad. It's
terrible.
easy for me to not cheer for the Lions, but I can't boo them because they're just bad.
Yeah.
But I love, like, there's, like, aspects of the Bears. Like, I love making fun of the Bears because of Grant and just because, like, oh, Jay Cutler. And then it's like... But
He's
it's
the
like,
best mediocre quarterback out
I'm
there.
a big fan of Cutler. I guess
he's just
He's
there.
the best
He
of-
just shows up.
Of all the
That's what he
mediocre, he's right at the
He's
top.
right at the top, yeah.
But with the Packers, like, Aaron Rodgers, he's just so good. Like, even when the Vikings, I'm like, oh, division rivals, oh, I should hate the Packers. And everyone's like, why aren't you yelling that you're losing? I'm like, because it's Aaron Rodgers. I appreciate he's here, and I'm glad he's here right now. And they're like, what the hell kind of fan are you? And I'm like, a good one, because he's not going to be here forever, and they're going to have a pretty average, mediocre quarterback, and I don't like watching Jay Cutler play football. I love watching Aaron Rodgers play football.
Yeah.
So it's always like that. So, okay, so you're at that game. How'd you enjoy it? Like, what was the atmosphere? Like, did you just...
It was good. Like, the Vikings fan, because I was wearing full. Like, it was...
Of course.
Yeah,
I
full
would too if I was at
Packers.
Lambeau.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was all pretty friendly, but, like, when I was waiting in line for the bathroom, people were showing me, like, pictures on their phone of, like, hillbilly people dressed in Packers stuff. They're like, oh, is this your relatives? Making fun of Wisconsin, right? But, like, even though I'm not from Wisconsin, it still hurt.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
I was
you're
like, man, this sort of
Hey, is
cuts
this
me
you?
down.
And it shows a guy with like no teeth, like
Yeah.
just like suspenders. One of them's busted and like jean shorts. You're like, what?
With a gigantic Green Bay buckle.
Yeah,
it was. And then, because I didn't want to tell him, like, no, I'm actually from Canada, because then it would have been way worse, and they're making fun of that, so I just...
They're like, oh, don't you have your own league up there? It's like, yeah, but it's like the NFL rejects. We
It's
don't want to
like,
talk about it.
it's like Pee Wee.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah, no, like when I tell people like Americans that I run into from time to time, and they're like, "Oh, good, you have the CFL." I'm like, "Yeah, it's like the guys who don't get drafted in the NFL." No, I know there's like X amount of rounds in the draft. The worst guys in your draft are the best guys in our draft.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Wow, that's something." And I'm like, "Our field's bigger, and we have more people on the field." I'm like, "That's great, wow."
Yeah, good for
We also missing it down. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, missing it down. We get points if you miss the field goal, but it goes through the back of the end zone.
It's a participation badge.
Yeah. You can challenge pass
You can
interference.
challenge everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're like,
that's
hey,
ridiculous.
that guy didn't tie his shoelace. Challenge it. Tie it again. Tie it again. So apart from football, are there any other sports that you watch?
Mostly football's number one. Like, I watch ball, too, baseball, but
Baseball?
not as like, just to watch the Jays.
Oh,
a little bit of
yeah.
the Cubs, too, since we went to that game. But, yeah, mostly just football. I try.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll ask you one. We got
I'm a Cubs fan too, so
Yeah, it's like I think everybody's a Cubs fan at heart.
yeah.
You
well,
sort of have to.
It's gonna be amazing when they win.
Oh, it's going to be.
That's the only reason I'm a fan, really.
Yeah, this is the year they're doing. It's magic this year.
It's like when they started, even like we all knew they were going to be good, like just off the
Yeah.
rankings and stuff. But when they started, they were on like a historic run. They're like, "Oh, state teams haven't been this good since like 1918," and I'm like, "Oh my god, there was like 8 teams back then, or how there was 4.
Yeah.
They played each other like every day.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want to go play a game? We'll just charge people like a quarter to come watch. Not even like a penny. You know, like, we'll take it and go buy each other a beer after."
Yeah.
Like those records that don't even count compared to like nowadays where guys can throw like 100-mile-an-hour ball like 30 times over and like be hitting the same dime over and over. It's just amazing. Yeah, but I remember, or I've seen people like when the Rangers won. I saw a video clip of this guy holding a sign up like when the Rangers won, and he literally it said, "I can die in peace." And like it when the Cubs win. Like, as much, I don't care. I can't even think who would be their biggest rival. Like, if they have them at the moment, I should know. Either way, even their biggest rivals, you're gonna be like, yeah, well, good. I'm glad.
Good.
Like,
Yeah.
you got it.
Damn
People
time.
are gonna celebrate with them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, I know. Like, I'm a Giants fan, so I know. Like, well, the Giants, if they're gonna meet in the World Series, they gotta beat the Cubs to get there.
Yeah.
I'm okay if they lose to the Cubs because it's like, you know what, 8 years now, 109 years, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
But once they get there, oh man, that pressure's real up there. They're cranked to 11.
Yeah.
Oh, so it'll be something else. Yeah. How much money? What's the least amount of money that you would take? Like, I'll say it would be $1,000 for me to just lean into a pitch going 100 miles an hour and let it hit you. What's the smallest amount of money you would take?
I'd probably do it for $500 because it would be a good story. You know?
Yeah, it would be a great story.
Yeah.
You could probably get the ball signed too, I'm sure.
That's what I'm thinking.
John
right?
Lester, just, hey, you want to toss this on my arm? How'd you get in practice? Don't worry.
Don't
Just
worry
throw
about
this at me real quick, sign it, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
That guy's going to give me 500 crisp points.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
You'd
excited.
make it for the story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That would hurt so much.
Oh, it sucked. I say that now, guaranteed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, that's like I used to do these YouTube videos, and I did these challenges, and one of the challenges was eat a habanero pepper, and Grant found like the smallest scale habanero peppers ever with the most seeds, and I ate it, and I drank like the biggest.
Seeds are the worst part.
And I drank the biggest Starbucks like size you can get of. It was basically just whipped cream, but in liquid form. I drank it in under a minute. I'm not kidding.
And it still took him.
I was
half an
walking
hour.
back and forth like in a room like this, just down this hallway, back and forth for probably like 20 minutes, covering my ears because the wind in his house hurt my ears. And like that's only habanero. That's 5,000 on the Scoville rating, and like now there's like ghost chili, Carolina Reapers.
I wanted to get a ghost pepper, but no one had them in Winnipeg.
Well, no, because they're illegal. Like the actual pepper itself to buy is illegal.
No,
in certain, not anymore.
You could. There was a shortage at the time.
Oh, okay.
They couldn't get any.
And then I remember you said, "Well, I found a paste," and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's gonna be even more concentrated."
That sounds way
and then,
worse.
No, and then I think like Grant, or it would have been you. He's like, the guy's like, "Yeah, don't touch it. You can go blind." And Grant's like, "Ooh, maybe we shouldn't play with this one. This is a little dangerous for a silly YouTube video."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the weirdest or like craziest thing that you've done in terms of like a challenge or like something that you kind of regret, but you got a good story out of it?
Oh man, put me on the spot. I really don't know. There's got to be something though.
Or like a friend's like, "I bet you can't do that," and then you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna open this beer bottle with my teeth."
Pull my beer. Watch this.
Yeah.
There's got to be something. Yeah, I don't know.
Grant's
I'm drawing
last
a blank
words.
here. Yeah.
Okay, that's all. No, that's all good.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. It's do you?
Nice, yeah.
You're welcome. What would you rather have? A great car or a great house?
Great house.
You're like do you want to have like a really big house or just like super nice?
Where I'm at right now, probably just super nice house. I don't need a family. I don't need anything too big, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, super nice house. If there was like equivalent price car, I know for a fact I would do something stupid in it, right? So like within 2 weeks, it's worth pennies probably.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
house, I
I'm
think
with
I'd be
you.
more responsible. It'd make me a responsible person. A car, I'll be 16 again.
Yeah, I can't like every time I hear of someone like not like buying a car, fixing it up, and not driving it, it just drives me a little insane. Because
Yeah.
I go, well, it's like having the toy and not playing with it.
Well, you have to play with it.
You
yeah.
got it, yeah. Like, what? Why? I don't get it.
Why
That's
would you
something
do
I
that?
don't
It doesn't
get.
make sense at that
I don't
point.
get it. You gotta go fast.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have this big machine, you gotta use it.
So if you were to get the car, what's your dream car?
For reasonable, I'd love a GTR, just because it's reasonable. But I've always loved Aston Martins. Like, just a kid watching James Bond, fell in love with them.
Hell yeah.
Right? So I'd probably, an Aston Martin if price was no object. But if I was to buy a car, like if it was actually my money, it'd probably be a GTR, just because it seems like so much fun for probably the least amount of dollars.
What color would you make it? Or
Probably-
shade?
Probably black.
Maybe that's why I said it. I was like,
Black.
maybe you'll say black. You gotta say shade.
It is shade,
It's
yeah.
not
It's a
technically
classic
color.
color. Can't go wrong.
What's your favorite James Bond movie then?
I'm
Sounds like
a-
you've watched a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm a Sean Connery fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, he's the best
So
Bond.
it'd be hard not like which.
You know, he was wearing
Sean Connery-
a toupee the whole time.
Did he?
Yeah, he had to wear it. That's not real.
Poor guy.
Yeah,
Really?
I
yeah.
had no idea.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen barely any of. I've seen the new James Bond, but like
Yeah.
Grant's got like the full collection of like.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I
I
got
want
the
to see
full
every movie. I
DVD
got all the
set.
DVDs. I got the Blu-rays. Let's watch it. Let's sit down. Okay, what's your favorite James Bond movie?
Oof. Like probably one of the newer ones. It's more fun. Like it's just sitting down like Casino Royale. Like it's just entertaining, right? Whereas old ones like I marathon them all. Like they're just good to watch. But as far as like being entertained in a movie, it'd probably be like Casino
Wow.
Royale, one of the new ones, right?
Casino Royale's a good one.
But as far as like classics, they're better. I find they're better, but just for being entertained, like going to a movie and watching it, probably one of the newer ones. But
Okay, if you could be James Bond, and you could write up the script, what would the gist of your James Bond movie be?
well, there's got to be there's like a French villain or a German villain. You got to have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Evil villain from a
Stereotypical.
different
Or
country.
Russian.
Or Russian, right?
Russian.
Like something.
Half of them were in the Cold War, so it's all Russian.
Yeah, and like
Okay.
hit every cliche. There's got to be like a female henchman that's just
Got a
beefed up.
really, really sexist name.
Yeah. Oh, it has to be, right? And then of course you gotta have another sexist named partner, girl. Whether
Yep.
maybe you'll make out with her, maybe not. You know, there could be some sexual tension. Might be part of the story. I don't know, right?
Okay, all
I'm
right.
not a writer, and you know, it looks like you're dead, right? Everybody's like, you know what, he's dead, right?
Yeah.
And they think they win. Next, you know, he comes through the wall, right? Just through a hole, not a window, just crashes through a wall and ends up defeating a villain. You know, classic James Bond movie.
All right, what's going to be your go-to gadget? There's always like a gun or a gadget or like, obviously you got the car, you got the
Yeah.
Aston Martin already, but what's your gadget?
I'm a big fan of the gadget watches. Right?
Gadget
Like,
watches,
They
okay.
seem like there's how can you fit all that in one watch? But it's like next you know they're killing 10 people and one's
By the
grabbing
push of a button,
Just from
and, like,
push of a
just a
button.
little puff of air left their wrist.
Yeah.
And yet it didn't affect them at all.
No, and it's just magic. So I'm a big fan of the watches. Yeah.
Okay, right on. It's wicked.
What did you think of? Everyone seems to. The consensus is Skyfall and Spectre were not good movies. That's the consensus.
Yeah.
I thought they were great. They felt like a Sean Connery one. I thought because it's one villain. He goes out. He's not necessarily saving the world, but he's taking down the bad guy.
And that's what
That's
you
what
want.
I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. We're consensed.
Yeah.
We're consent.
These were good
See,
movies.
I'm
I
an-
loved Skyfall.
I'm an easy guy to please, and like James Bond, I know like even if I don't like, I'm like, that commercial doesn't look that great. I know I'm gonna love it because I just love like it doesn't take much to entertain me. I'm like, oh look, that was a shiny explosion. Yes, fast cars, yeah, ladies, yeah. So let's go.
Yeah.
It's $18. I don't care. Let's go. AVX 3D. Let's do this. That's what I do. I'm real. I get entertained very easily
Well, that's
by
good.
shiny stuff. I'm like a squirrel. Hey, let's just keep going with this. If you could be any woodland creature, which one would you be?
I was wondering where you're gonna go from
Yeah.
squirrel.
I'm a big fan of raccoons.
Raccoons.
Like they're lovable. You look at those little rascals, right?
That's
vicious.
the yeah, I know.
I was sitting there going,
Oh, look
I've
at
almost
look at
got
how cute
fucked
God,
up
you
by
little
one.
bastard! He bit my finger off.
They're little trash pandas, right?
No. Oh, I'm gonna call it down forever. I've never heard that before. Trash panda. Oh,
Oh, that's awesome.
that's a great name for like a beer league team too. Trash pandas and have a picture of a raccoon on the front.
That's really good.
Perfect,
I
yeah.
love that.
Ah.
You should change the name of your.
My hockey
Your
team
next
that we've
hockey
already
team
put
is-
in the jerseys for, we're getting them. That sucks. I'm kind of scared of raccoons a bit. Are you scared of any animals or any... Like, which animal do you most fear? If you're walking down a back alley, hypothetical situation, the walls are all white, you're in a dreamscape, and you have to, like, fight one animal to live. Which animal do you not want to see at the other end of the...
Probably a polar bear.
Wow.
Yeah, those
Okay.
things would suck.
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
There's no redeeming factor there.
Well, have you seen those, Pizzlies? Where they made like a cross between a polar bear and a grizzly. And
Are
I'm like,
you
oh,
kidding me?
nope, they're
That is-
real.
That's the scariest thing I've ever heard of.
No, yeah, and like they're like, yeah, no, we genetically like modified, so it's a Pizzly. And I'm like, why would you make two evil things that are the most evil together? You made
Yeah.
a super evil being at this point. That's terrifying. I know.
Yeah, so I take back my panda, and it's one of those now.
No, a Pizzly, a polar bear grizzly.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to see now.
Have you ever ran into a bear like camping or anything like that?
No, never.
No,
No.
Grant?
Oh, I walked down my driveway once to take my dog for a walk
Like at your cabin?
at my cabin, and there's one walking down my driveway, and I was behind him, and I immediately went, "Nope, come on!" And I went back inside, and my dog was sitting there going, "No, I want to go play."
No, that's no play. That's dead time.
Yeah,
That's dead.
didn't give a shit that I was there. Just kept going. I've seen it, but I mean, there's at my cabin. There's the cabin, and then the lot beside us we also own, and it's just blank. So, well, the guy before us cut all the trees in the middle, so we're waiting for it to grow back up. And there's lots of raspberry bushes, chokecherry bushes, strawberry bushes. It's loaded, and freaking every end of July, beginning of August, all that stuff comes into bloom. Like there's all the berries. Fucking every time there's a bear, just sitting there, just chowing down.
Just mowing.
Yeah, doesn't really care that you're there.
Yeah.
But yeah, black bear, not grizzly though.
Yeah, that's good.
So would you is all of ours pizzlies at this point?
Yeah, pretty much.
Specifically for today. No weapons.
I
it's
thought
just
about
like,
mountain lion, but now that I've heard about a pizzly, no, we're done.
You guys should
that's
Google it. It's terrifying.
Oh, I would be. I'd like to. I think I could take down a mountain lion. I'd like to think so. It wouldn't happen.
What would your
What's the minimum amount of weaponry you would need to take down a mountain lion? 1-on-1, no interference.
Well, if I could have a gun, it'd be a gun. But
Yeah, the minimum.
Oh, minimum.
The minimum requirement to win.
Because you think of them, I think of them as cats, right? I like cats. Probably a knife. I'd like to think I could do it with a knife.
You think you could do like a big hunting knife?
Yeah, and he'd come at me, and you'd just give her one of these in the neck.
Yeah, and just try to keep it away from your face.
As the paws are kind of hugging you and pulling you
Yeah,
under
because
their
as the
face.
claws are slowly going
that's what I
deeper
feel
into
like
your
they would
chest.
want to hug you.
Yeah.
And then that's when you just get it, right? That's what I think.
Yeah, and like that's
You
what
could
we're
do
thinking
it.
now. And then the moment we see even a baby one, we're like, oh, we're gonna die today.
Yeah, I know.
That's-
If I seen one, I'm like, oh god, no. If I had the knife, I'm like,
Just throw it.
Yeah, throw it right at it.
Throw the butt end, just hit it, and piss it off more.
And
Just start
done.
running at you.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Right,
Well, it's
lightning
reached that time in our podcast, so thank you for coming on. But this is the lightning round. We add in our own sound effects. That's what we do.
We're really cool.
All right, so just answer these as fast as you can. Grant, you'll start us off.
How many bones have you broken in your life?
0.
Okay, what's one item you think that is overrated, one thing underrated?
Whew. Underrated books, overrated cigarettes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ah, good message. Good message.
That's how you gotta have one.
Your go-to drink when you go to the bar?
Beer. I'm easy to please.
Okay, snow or rain?
Rain. Love rain.
Oh, beautiful.
You have to fight them. You have to pick one door to go through. You have to fight either 100 duck-sized horses, little mini horses, or one horse-sized duck.
Horse-sized duck. I'd get overwhelmed.
You get overwhelmed.
100 of them? That's a lot.
But have you seen how vicious ducks are?
Yeah, I'd
the size of
jump
a-
on my back, and I think I could, if I had a knife.
So, okay, no, you've thought about this. I'm
Yeah,
glad because
okay,
we've had many
okay.
people who are like, I don't know. Most people just jump to the 100. I've never thought about being overwhelmed though, and that's an awful lot of them.
Yeah.
Okay, Apple or Android?
Android.
Android.
Big
Okay,
fan.
so obviously since you've
Well,
only
I do have one
Go.
last quick question.
Get it.
If like there was a toddler came out, you're in an arena, you're in the middle, and there's a toddler comes out every 2 seconds. How many do you think you could? This is totally legal. How many can you kill before you're overwhelmed and they kill you? It's a gladiator.
They respawn every one Mississippi. They keep walking at you.
And they want to kill
They're trying to kill you.
This is gladiator to
But
the
they don't
death.
have weapons.
No,
and you don't have weapons.
No one has weapons.
They're just
though.
running at you like uncoordinated.
I could probably, it'd be below 50. I'd probably get gassed. And then they just game over. after
Yeah,
that.
I believe that. You're,
Yeah,
you're a big guy.
Yeah,
Big guy.
I'd say 25 to 35.
I've always gone with 16 because I always think I'm going to get gassed and I'm going to miss one and then I'm
And
going to
then
get
it's over.
overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And it's over.
Because you got to get them like every single time, one shots.
Yeah, you got to make sure that one counts.
See, once you're overwhelmed, I would feel like I could just frog splash like 6 of them as as a final death call, and then I'm overwhelmed.
And then
then
you
just
gotta
raise a
punch on your
fist
back
and
yeah,
scream.
and then just get overwhelmed.
Ah! Okay.
All right, so obviously, since we've only met with about an hour ago, roughly at this point, you've never listened to any of our podcasts because
No.
you're like, what? Why would I go? Yeah, come talk with us in this room.
Sure.
Come on down. So on our podcast here, have you ever heard of our theme song?
No, I haven't.
Perfect. We haven't either. So to close it out, you're going to come up with a theme song, and we're going to sing it with you, or you can rap it, or you... Actually, we also heard that you're a fan of wrestling. So how about if you're going to cut a promo on what we did on the podcast today?
Oh, I would be able to do a promo. I can't do the voice.
That's fine. You can even talk it. What if you're going to wrap up the podcast today, what would it sound like?
Oh, man. You should have gave me some time to think about
No,
this.
we
I
put
should've
people on
grabbed
the
that-
spot.
throw this one
Yeah,
on
I
the
should
No,
have
we don't want them
notepad,
prepared.
Some thinking time. I could... Oh, man. It's got to have edgier seat in it, because every wrestling has to.
Okay.
All right. So it'd be...
Let us have it. Let's
wanna
do
hear
it.
this.
Cut it. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, okay. Three guys on a podcast. You pay for the full seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Two-thirds podcast. Two-thirds. All right, to close out, do you have a message for the kids or anyone out there?
I'll just go back. Don't smoke. Read books. You know, positive vibes. Just have good times.
Excellent. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yes, thanks for having me. This was a blast.
Right on. Thank you.
Great.